I've upset some people by calling myself a white African, because that's what I am.
Hey people, how you are doing today? Check out Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a video of a white South African who claimed that she is a white African. So apparently this white South African came on TikTok. I think she was kind of pointing out that a black woman is not an African, is not a South African woman.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa. Sambonani.
Tell me one thing most people don't know about South Africa.
There's a theme park that was built on a gold mine.
Wow.
Yeah, Gold Reef City. You should go there.
And some South African people came on the comment section and was like, you know what? You are not South African. You are European. And this just made this old woman to come to explain why she is South African and why she is a white African. And she went on to just go into the
Hello, my friend. You are very passionate on a Tuesday morning. Goodness. But let's get a couple of things clear between you and me. Number one, I made a reaction video where I didn't even say a word. How is that taking someone's ethnicity away from them? Secondly, this woman in the video, she is taking the ethnicity from South Africans away by claiming to be South African when she's not. She is not South African. Go and watch the original video and go look through the comments and you'll see what I mean. Number three, go watch the video again I posted and then you'll hear her say Sambonani. That's not how you say it. You can look it up there. It's not Sambonani. Number four, you calling me European in a different comment when I clearly have a South African ID. That's racist. That's taking my ethnicity away from me. Check yourself, brother. Things in South Africa are so backward. Let me explain myself. I recently posted a video where a woman was claiming that she's South African. Yes, this woman happened to be black. And then I just made a reaction video where I didn't say a word. I just pulled my face and stuff. Where I was just saying that she's not South African. Got nothing to do with the color of her skin. Then the backward South Africans came for me. Telling me that I am a racist because I'm taking this woman's blackness away from her when all I did was insinuate that she is not South African. That's all. That's all. TikTok enjoyed the controversy and just kept pushing the video out, bringing more haters to the video. So naturally, I made more videos. Of course, who wouldn't? Look, I'm a super proud South African. Born in Africa. But this country of ours will never be great again with all this backwards thinking, with all this racism from both sides. From both sides. And let's get one thing very clear. I'm not dismissing what happened in apartheid. I'm not dismissing what was said. I'm not dismissing what was done. I'm not for apartheid. I'm not for it. But I'm a democratic baby, which means I was born after apartheid. I don't stand for it. I wasn't part of it. I believe in the vision of Tata Madiba, the unity of Ubuntu. We are the only continent in the entire world where someone can't call themselves African based on the color of their skin. I was raised where I was taught that an African is someone born in Africa. I was not taught that it is the color of someone's skin. We are the only country in the entire world that associate the word farmer to a white person. Even though the word boer derived from the Afrikaans word farmer, we decided that a boer is an Afrikaans person, not a farmer. We decided that being African is associated with a skin color and not where someone is born. I'm going to continue making videos like this because one, this is my page. And secondly, and most importantly, I'm actually striving for a better South Africa. I'm striving for a South Africa where we can call each other brother and sister based on where we are from and not the color of our skin. Oh, and the amount of support I've received from making these videos is incredible. It outweighs the hate by so much. I have people that agree with me 100%. I have people that don't even agree with me. But by the way that we have spoken to each other with respect and dignity, we are on the same page and now we are actually following each other. Isn't that beautiful? So now I pose this question to all of you that don't agree with me. If you don't agree with me, don't be rude. Be respectful. Educate me. Send me links. Tell me where to go to get the right information. Don't you think it'll be absolutely beautiful if you type in the word boer into Google search and you go to images and you see this, actual farmers. And you only see this if you type in apartheid boer. Ooh, I've upset some people by calling myself a white African. Because that's what I am. Because according to you, being African is a race and it's not got nothing to do with where you stay. Because being African only applies to the color of your skin. So I must be European then, eh? And we are completely ignoring the fact that the ANC gave me my ID document. Seeing that I'm a democratic baby and all, I'm a white African and you will never take that away from me.
So please go down in the comment section. Do you agree with her? Let us know your thought about this down in the comment section. This got a lot of people, especially South Africans, to speak up and address the issue. I have my thought on this and I'm going to share my thoughts. So let's go hear other people and South Africans share their thought on this issue.
We are the only continent in the entire world where someone can't call themselves African. Yeah, Africa's allowed to decide what it calls its colonizers. It's allowed that.
It wasn't Africans who said that the European colonizers can't be African. In actual fact, it was the European colonizers who drove the point home again and again and again and again, over and over again, that they were not African, because to be African was to be considered less than, because those were the rules of the time. Those were the rules they made. And so it stands. You know, Africa recognized it. I don't know why you're taking issue with Africa. It's not Africa's fault, it's Europe. Now, I also take issue with you wanting to pretend. You know, you're like, oh, I'm a democracy, baby. You know, I wasn't born during apartheid. I wasn't there. It has nothing to do with me. You're my generation. So just frankly, shit, because I know that your dad and my dad were in the army, because if they weren't, they would have served jail time. And you wouldn't look so nearly well cared for if your daddy was in jail. So, our dads were in the army. And I don't know if your dad speaks about what he was made to do in the army, but mine sometimes does when he was drunk. And I'm here to tell you that we are very much a part of it, because one generation is not that far away. Are we going to pretend that when apartheid ended, black people could suddenly get equity for loans and credit and things like that, so that they had the same financial standing as white South Africans, because it's 30 years later and that still hasn't happened? I mean, it's happening, but it should have happened. And lastly, you going on and on about how well you were raised. Did your mom not teach you that it's really, really bad manners to insert yourself into someone else's conversation? Okay. But not only did you rudely insert yourself into someone else's conversation, you offered an opinion that was unwarranted, unasked for, and frankly unnecessary. That's pretty bad manners. That's shocking etiquette. And to then further that by demanding in return for your rudeness and entitlement that people show you kindness and respect and patience and offer you education, because you're demanding education. There's some audacity here. Really, you really have so much to learn and unlearn.
You know, I'm a white African and you will never take that away.
Well, it is debatable. I mean, I could say you're a white South African, not African. But if you want to take that one, go ahead. I mean, you all have a history of telling us stuff, and then later on we find out it's different. I mean, you all made us believe that you all built the pyramids. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe that Jesus was light in complexion. Turns out he wasn't. You all made us believe that you all came up with the elevators. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe that you all came out with the first mobile phone. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe that you all are the smart ones and came up with refrigerated trucks. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe that you all invented the toilets. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe that you all were the creators of Jack Daniels. Turns out you all didn't. You all made us believe, or you're trying to make us believe that you jumped out of the pool because you just jumped out and not because it was a racist act. Turns out it wasn't. I mean, that's what you'll do. It just happens. Growing up, we were taught that Africans are barbaric and inhumane and uncultured. Now you'll want to be African. Hey, that's what you'll want. I don't know. Go ahead, call yourself whatever. Just don't call me late for supper.
Ooh, I've upset some people by calling myself a white African.
This one confuses me now. So, my great-grandfather maternal is an Indian African. I can understand if you call yourself a white South African, but you're going to claim the whole continent of Africa? Didn't people of European descent do enough? Can you call yourself African if the roots of your family trees is in Europe? And if memory serves, benches and things and doorways and train used to say Europeans only, blankes alleenlik. You see, nowadays it would say European Africans only. This is confusing. No.
Ooh, I've upset some people by calling myself a white African.
This is the exact page that she showed. White Africans of European ancestry refers to people in Africa who can trace full or partial ancestry to Europe. Now, the reason why those two words are used together, white African, is because Africa is a continent with many countries. And it is true that you can be a white South African, a white Nigerian, a white Namibian, if you were born in those countries, because that country is your nationality. So no one can take your nationality away from you. You will always be South African. But just because the words white African was found on the internet, it doesn't mean it exists in the way that you think it does. Because you are still of European ancestry. That is where your ancestors came from. That is why white people have always been referred to as Europeans. This one was obviously not around during apartheid, so I don't know if she even remembers or knows about these pictures that are all over the internet that you can find anywhere that said Europeans only. It doesn't make you less of a South African because that is your nationality. But you can never be African if you are of European descent. Colored people who have no African ancestry are Southeast Asian mostly. That is why also Indian South Africans are still Indian. They are not African. They are only South African by nationality. So if you were born in Namibia, you would be Namibian by nationality, but you would still be a European if you are white. The only people who can claim to be African are those with African ancestry. I really don't know what is so fucking difficult.
Go ahead in the comment section and share your thought. Love to read from you guys. You guys know that. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. But please keep it respectful. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion. So as usual, we're always very respectful on this channel. Okay, so keep your comment very clean and respectful. So my own thought on this is that I've done a video here where I actually asked the question, do you think white South Africans are South Africans? And I personally, I believe that the white South Africans are not Africans and they should not call themselves Africans. they can call themselves white South African because there's a difference between nationality and race. And for me, I just feel like this white South African, she has the guts to come to say another black woman is not and is not South African or is not South African. For me, like, she has the audacity when even she's not South African. She's European, and then she's saying that, oh, she was not here doing apartheid, so it's not her fault. She was born in democratic. But your ancestors did a whole lot of atrocity in South Africa, and that is why you are in South Africa. And you want to ignore that and say because you were not born during the time of apartheid, that means automatically everything your ancestors did just went into thin air. It never existed. It never happened. So that makes you an African. And I feel like this is where, especially as Black Africans, I'm going to say that we all know that the life started in Africa, and majority of us here in Africa, we are blacks. It was when the European slave trade, both the Arabic slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade, that was when a lot of Europeans and a lot of Arab people came into this continent and literally had made this continent mixed with different people, including people that looks like Europeans and Arab. And I get that, but when you know that history, then just keep your mouth shut and don't even try to fight with another black person over who is African and why you should call yourself white African. Like, no. I personally, I will not accept a white person calling themselves. You can call yourself your nationality, which is fine. Like, go do you. Anybody can be born in any country and then claim that nationality. It's fine. But don't claim being African. Don't claim it. Just like the way when an African person goes to Europe and obtains citizenship, most of the time they usually ask like, where are you really from? Because why? Because of the color of your skin. She wants to say that, oh, color of skin does not matter. It's only in South Africa that people look at skin. When the people that started looking at skin and start dividing people because of their skin color are the Europeans, are the white people. So I personally, I feel like she should take this to our ancestors for them to address it. I just feel like there's a point where we as black people, black Africans, we really need to draw the line and put this type of people in their place. Let's remind them what their ancestors did. If they've forgotten. Because a lot of them have really forgotten and they feel like they can claim ownership of the motherland that truly belongs to black people. Anyway, guys, let me know your thought about this topic down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this conversation. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this. But please keep it respectful. You don't have to disrespect anybody. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. With that all said, give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.